Ours is a nation like no other, a place where great journeys can be made in a single generation. No matter who you are or where you come from, the path is always forward.
From San Antonio Mayor Julian Castro's keynote speech at this year's Democratic National Convention.
Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people.
To President Obama's drastic relaxation of U.S. deportation policies over the summer, Hispanic voters have received more attention during this presidential election than any in recent memory. Yet Jorge Leone, Executive Director of Acercamiento Hispano, the largest Hispanic outreach group in Columbia, South Carolina, says in this state in particular, politicians don't pay enough attention to the Hispanic vote.
They don't have a real idea of how much the Latinos are helping or are part of the economy of this state.
Located in the heart of America's Bible Belt, South Carolina has traditionally been a stronghold for conservative politics.
South Carolina absolutely has a history of voting conservative and for Republicans.
But nationally, Latinos are a group that tends to vote in the other direction, says USC political science professor Todd Shaw.
That has certainly been true in the last couple of presidential cycles or cycles of presidential elections, that the Latino vote has gone more solidly Democratic.
His main strategy during the Republican primary was to say, we're going to encourage self-deportation.
So how does this dichotomy play out? The conservative surroundings, but the tendency for the voting group in general to agree with liberal policies. Leone says even in conservative South Carolina, he thinks Hispanics identify more with democratic policies.
Yo creo que si bien está dividido, la mayoría de los latinos apoyan más a los demócratas. Porque responde a sus intereses. La mayoría de los latinos son trabajadores. Las ofertas que estamos recibiendo hasta ahora son más justas del lado demócrata que del lado republicano para la gente de menores ingresos.
Amanda Loveday, Executive Director of the South Carolina Democratic Party, says that immigration is one of the main reasons Hispanics support Democrats.
I think that for Democratic immigration policies, the Hispanic population is agreeing more with the Democratic side than the Republican side. A lot of times you're going to see, especially very conservative Republicans, saying everyone out, whereas the Democratic Party is a little bit more understanding of the situations.
Alex Stroman, political director for the South Carolina Republican Party, disagrees. He says Obama has a failed record on immigration.
This president had a Democratic Congress for 2 years and never once spoke the words, never endorsed, never pushed for comprehensive immigration reform. And I think there's been a lot of distortion of Republican policies. The Republicans like immigration. We believe that we want to increase immigration. We want to have an economy that makes people want to come to our country and work and grow and become Americans.
Of course, there's more to this election than just the issue of immigration. And in South Carolina in particular, some of the most popular issues are often social ones. The church, gay marriage, abortion. And while Leone acknowledges that the Roman Catholic Church plays an important role in the Hispanic community, he says that still, social issues do not outweigh things like jobs and education to Latinos.
You know that the Roman Catholics have a very strong beliefs and ways to think. And sometimes that makes that a lot of Latinos don't have a church because they don't able to attend the Roman Catholic Church.
Shaw agrees. He says that religious issues are important but are a secondary concern to Latino voters.
It's always been economic and political issues that have been the overriding factors within the Hispanic community and within African American communities. Social issues matter because questions of religiosity and church and morality matter in the community. But when you're faced with the question of jobs, of fairness, of concerns, about varying concerns about discrimination, you want to call upon government to be activist.
In addition, Leone says the Latino community just cannot identify well with GOP candidate Mitt Romney.
That the Latinos don't see with very good eyes the offerings or the proposals of candidate Romney. El otro día el candidato Romney, que hay un 47% de votantes, no de latinos, de votantes que solamente esperan que el Estado les dé todo gratis, y yo creo que no es así.
To the Republicans, the real issue for Hispanics this year goes hand in hand with immigration policy. It's the economy and jobs.
The Hispanic population accounts for 1/7 of the population of the job population, but yet it accounts for 1/5 of those who are unemployed. Hispanic unemployment rate is over 11.3%, when the national average is around 8%. This economy isn't working for most Americans, but especially isn't working for Hispanic Americans.
On the other end, Democrat Loveday says it's less about talking points and more about what actions each side has already completed.
You have to look at Arizona and the South Carolina immigration law. They're very similar. And in South Carolina, the Republicans in this state passed a law that would have basically allowed anyone walking down the street, driving in a car, to be questioned about their citizenship, and that's not America.
Regardless, the amount of attention being paid to national community groups by each campaign, such as Juntos con Romney and Latinos for Obama, shows the growing importance of Latinos in this election.
And I think that this year in the presidential election, we'll learn how important the Hispanic vote is. I think the Hispanic vote will turn Nevada for the president. And so we'll see where these votes are coming from and how important that population is to the Democratic Party as a whole. And hopefully all 50 states will realize the importance of this group and will make sure that their voice is heard in the upcoming elections.
For Leone, though, it all comes back to one idea. And it's a very American idea at that.
Hay múltiples problemas de inmigración, de trabajo, hay múltiples problemas, pero yo creo que lo importante es darles no solo a los latinos, a todo el mundo, la posibilidad de tener un sueño. Cuando uno sueña, puede pensar en un futuro. Cuando uno siente que no tiene caminos, que todos los caminos se le cierran, entonces uno deja de hacer cosas.
And which party offers the better chance at obtaining a dream? We'll find that out on Election Day. Amit Kumar, Carolina News.